Hi everybody, today I thought I'd give you a workshop tour. Now normally you'd think I'd tidy up before showing you my workshop, but no, this is reality. So, okay, this is my cutting board for fabrics as well as everything else that I do. I have some plastic bag for gluing on top of old books for ripping up. This one has no cover. Journal in progress. An altered book. This is the first altered book I've ever done, so it's very much a practice piece. Huge amount of pages in there. I mean, if I was to actually make this as a journal to sell, I don't quite know how long it would take me. Months probably. My beautiful, amazing, wonderful brother scan and cut machine, which I absolutely adore. If you don't know what one of those is for, it is a scanner, but also, let me see if I can find some. Also, when you scan stuff, it cuts it out for you as well. It's a die cutter, like this sort of thing, and doing this one-handed, that sort of thing. The closest thing I have to a book press, a very old book for journaling, ripping the pages out, etc. Underneath my cutting table I keep all sorts of things. This actually is an empty box, should be there. Cutting implements, measuring implements, pins, little scissors, a pin cushion. And this corner is my glues, pegs, and more glues. On the back there is an inkle loom with a half-finished project. That I will at some point pick up again. Underneath, ironing board. Underneath are, that's batting for quilting. That's old curtains for cutting up. White fabric for making toiles or mock-ups. Some more fabric in there for cutting up. This is good fabric in this one for dressmaking. Painting. Paints. Fabric paints. Paintbrushes. All that sort of thing. Under here is paper and cardboard and embroidery stabilizer, plastic wrap. Scrap fabric. There's an awful lot of scrap fabric. In fact, I ought to do something about that. Remnants. What's the difference between remnants and scrap fabric? Well, remnants should be bigger, but in honest truth, that is stuffed full of scraps too. And more fabric, scraps. Interfacing, and this also is foam inserts for handbags and glasses cases. No, they're not from outer space. These are projects that are needing done, repairs, things that were unfinished. There's knitting in there as well. This needs better organising, actually. Wow, that one's nearly empty. I have a lamp, if I need more light, and some voile curtaining, and some more scrap fabric. In here I have cardboard scraps, Weetabix box that will become the cover of a book at some point. And this is exactly what it says, paper gift wrap. It says cards, there's no cards in there, all the cards are in the one underneath. More papers, cutting board, book spines. Project bags. When I start a project, I tend to put it in a bag. That's a broken over locker. Laminator. That's what that is. It's very old, but it still works. Iron. Threads. Buttons. These are odds and ends of threads. Not enough to put on the sewing machine, but plenty for hand sewing jobs. My messy desk. Overlocker. Invaluable when I'm dressmaking. Embroidery machine. Also superb workhorse. Something my daughter made at school many years ago. These are for blocking knitting. There's a crochet and knitting book there that is too big for the shelf, and that piece of equipment at the back there is for carding wool. It's combs. I've forgotten the name of it actually. Books on knitting, socks, more advanced knitting, Tunisian crochet. Some of these are old books, the ladies' crochet books, and some like this, Complete Works of William Shakespeare, are about nothing to do with crafts. Old books. None of these are for ripping up, these are treasured books. Assorted papers for making journals. More papers for making journals. Steve's record there. Important paperwork. Steve's records around the bottom, and this is where the cats sleep. Under here is a spinning wheel, and this is an old hand crank sewing machine. It's nearly 150 years old. This one still works. A treadle sewing machine underneath it, which is from the 1940s, and that one still works. My brother's sewing machine, which is my best sewing machine, which doesn't belong on the floor. It normally belongs on my desk, but when I'm working on other things I have to move it. And some more of these wonderful Ikea sort of drawer things, yarn, embroidery, knitting needles, carders, crochet hooks, weaving, that's thicker stuff for the inkle loom for making braids, miscellaneous, and it is miscellaneous. I mean, how can one throw this stuff away? Fleece. Oh, I can't even pull that one out. But that's fleece for spinning. Oh, more books on the floor. More junk journaling equipment on the floor. It doesn't belong there. This is a cheapo sewing machine. Cost about €30 from Carrefour. Perfectly adequate. Absolutely brilliant little workhorse. My granddaughter uses that one when she comes to visit. Raw cotton. This is all cotton that I grew here on the finger. Backup sewing machine. I know I have a few backup sewing machines. I suppose my bookbinding supplies, it's not very well organised and shouldn't be there. I have knitting patterns in the back there somewhere, and also some more sewing patterns, some painting stuff, sacking, batting. I have some very important embroidery works in there, which, because they're put away, I rarely look at. Basic jumbo flyer unit, that's extra bits for my spinning wheel. Wire metalwork, needle felting, spindles. They are all there. Items for sale. Spectacle cases. Gift bags. Little journals. These are the two large journals I have for sale in their bags. That one and that one. The drawers. Scissors, needles, sewing pins, bits and bobs. Sewing machine accessories, bobbins, all the extra feet and fancy gizmos that go on all the various machines. Elastic, mostly elastic. There's some ribbon in there as well. Ribbons and shoelaces. Not very well organised. journals, notebooks. Some of these are handmade, some of these, that was the very first bookbinding project I did. Is a leather-bound journal. Pens, drawing implements, and lots of paper, and old notebooks that will be remade into other things. Embroidery threads. More embroidery threads and overlocker threads. Gosh, I don't know how to describe this one. Beads, teddy bear eyes, bags, purse clasps, that's a mini iron, more buttons, that's wax and buttonhole thread for hand sewing couture buttonholes. Sashiko project that I did, that's the Sashiko stuff. Gadgets and gizmos for making things. Buttons, handmade buttons. It's wool. In fact, these are all wool except for, oops, sorry, you won't focus them. They're all wool except for these ones, which are cotton. And lace. These are the manuals that go with all my machines, including in here I actually have the instructions for the old machines. As well. And the view out the window. Sometimes you just need a little bit of inspiration, and Mother Nature helps with that. So there you have it. This is where the magic happens. And most of the time it is a mess like this, but at least once a week I try and tidy up. Happy crafting, everybody.